So, you're thinking of buying a modern day hot hatch, but the purists are telling you that they're boring, they're uninspiring to drive, and the steering's really numb. Well, today we've got this Cupra 290 Lux, track spec, and we're going to show you exactly why modern hot hatches don't always have to be boring.
So this is Ace's Mark 3.5 Cupra 290. From stock it comes with, you might have guessed, 290 horsepower. It's about 1400 kilos. This one in particular comes with a 7-speed DSG gearbox. Being a Lux model, from the factory this car comes with some pretty nice optional extras, including the panoramic roof, heated bucket seats, DCC adaptive suspension and the eLSD. Now the Cupra is a few years old, it's becoming a popular choice for track goers, and you can see why it's a pretty good base. But we're not here to talk about a standard Cupra, so I'm going to invite Ace, the owner of the car, onto the camera and get him to run you through the mods on this Cupra. So here we have Ace, welcome to the channel. Tell us a bit about your Cupra.
So we're running 2-Forge ZF8 18-inch by 9 ET45 wheels. These were got for me to run a custom fitment from Top Tyres Manchester. They're wrapped in Davanti Protura race tyres. We are running a 265 square fitment all around. We've got J-hook discs on the front with Ferodo DS2500 pads. Got racing line, braided lines with Motul RBF 660 brake fluid as well. Underneath we've got H&R lowering springs, Polybush wishbones and an 034 Motorsport dog mount. We've also got 034 Motorsport camber plates on the front, and we've got hard race rear camber arms on the rear. It also has a little stage 1 tune just to kind of unleash it a bit more.
So I noticed you mentioned a few camber arms and camber plates, so I'm guessing you're running a bit of a Maggio setup on it.
So on the front we're running minus 2.7 degrees of camber. On the rear we're minus 3, just to be able to get the 265 underneath them arches. It was one thing when we was doing it, everyone in the industry basically said with stock fenders we weren't going to be able to run it. But myself and Top Tyres was determined to get it under, and it's worked. We've not rubbed one since.
Sounds good. And you said you've got a stage 1 remat, so what does that entail? What hardware have you fitted to the car to get the extra power out of it?
No additional hardware really. No. It's basically just de-restricting it, getting it feeling a lot more natural. We've got it to about 360 brake horsepower now. It's a lot more reactive and it's very linear, so when going on track you're able to exit corners a lot better.
And are you happy with how it performed on track? Is there any plans for future mods?
It handled quite well on track. It did impress me quite a bit. I learned a lot of areas where it does need improving, more so stiffening on the rear. So from now we're kind of looking at where we can improve on that. So, you know, rear anti-roll bars, possibly a cage in it as well, just to stiffen the whole chassis up. Just focusing more so on handling than going big power just yet.
Well, should we jump out in the car and see what it's saying on a UK B-road?
Yeah. Let's go B-road bashing. It's the first time passing my own car, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, stressful.
I won't send
stressful times.
No, I won't send it. Right, so we're in the Cupra. We've got Ace passenger. And
yeah, the
brakes are really grabbing.
See what I mean? The quality. But just be careful because they will lock the tyres up.
Yeah.
Like they do lock up well.
Right, what do I need to do with the car?
Do you want to put it in manual or... So you're in manual now so you can use the paddles to shift.
Right.
And then yeah, you're good to go. It's already set in Cupra, everything, all good for you to go.
Yeah, so what I'm here to tell you basically is how the car feels to drive with the power it's got. I think KW is going to go into a bit more detail on the actual mods because I'm not the best at explaining feedback from a car, but I'm the front wheel drive king, so I've got to tell you what it's like to drive. I'm a bit sceptical with how much power it's got being front wheel drive, but it has got the electronic diff and, like we mentioned, the 265 tyres. spins up very easy, but
It's controllable. The
it
spin
is controllable.
Though, isn't it?
Like, you don't really feel it. Like, it only snaps when I change gear then.
Yeah. When you kind of like going straight through the gear, it's very controllable and manageable, the spin.
Honestly, jumping in the car, first impressions, no disrespect. I think if anything, it's a bit of respect, but drives like a standard car as far as I can tell so far. Should we push on a bit and see how it drives? So drop down a few cogs. It's a talker. Boy, it's very lively. I'm not getting much feeling through the steering wheel, but that can be forgiven just because the steering is quite quick, so it feels like it's doing what it needs to do. It's just that I can't feel much of it. First. Very quick. National speed limit just like that. Oh, it's angry. Yeah, it's still a front wheel drive, so traction is never going to be optimal. It drops through the gears very quickly, apart from second gear. I'd say second gear, it kind of lurches a bit. On the power through the corners, this car, it just powers round. So, we've got traction from second gear. Ooh, that diff brings you around the corners very nicely. Brakes are really good. Yeah, power level is perfect. I would say steering feel's not where I'd want it to be. For a modern car, it might be adequate, but I'm coming from a 1997 car with no power steering at all. I'd say the steering feel is quite numb. However, the rack is very quick, so it's point and shoot. You kind of tip the nose in, and with minimal steering angle, the car just tucks in. Rear end follows it round really nicely. You really feel what the chassis is doing underneath you. I've drove with VAG group cars that I've drove before. You kind of throw it in and the rear end kind of feels like it's trailing round behind you, a bit lazy. But this car feels very agile in the corners. It feels like you're pivoting. Yeah, it feels very good. Just out the corners, that LSD works perfectly. You don't really feel it much through the steering wheel, but the fact it's putting traction down, you can kind of hear it working away, getting the tyres to grip to the road. And power-wise, the only thing I can really compare it to that's modern, hot hatchy that I've drove was probably the Civic FK2 that I drove. It had about 370 horsepower. Now, normally I'd say manual cars do feel quicker, but in this application here, the way the power comes in and the way the DSG gearbox works, you never fall out of that power band. Really lively chassis. And it picks up speed very well. Ace has done an amazing job with the mods on this car. Whilst it's quite minimal, the mods that he has done really do help the car perform well. Now, I've not drove a stock Cupra, I've drove a few MQB platform cars, and this is like none of them. I'd say straight away, if you're in the market, the Cupra's got to be the one to go for, hasn't it? It's got the MQB platform chassis, it's got the Golf R engine, but with the front wheel drive and the LSD. I'd say this is a bargain that's slept on, and with a few mods, as you can see here, it's very, very capable. Ace is obviously nowhere near done with the modifications on this car, but as a starting point, I'd say this is probably an entry-level track modified car. We've got lowering springs, we've got the camber adjustment, we've got the alignment, and honestly, it surprised me. Now, in some ways, it's what I was expecting in terms of the steering feeling a bit numb. but the car performs well. Yeah, I've not even troubled the brake once. The brake feel is really good. It's just an overall well-rounded package. Don't come into it expecting rawness of an older car, but if you want a capable car for track, this has got to be up there with some of the best in terms of capability. But let's hand over to KW Online and see if he can talk you through the mods that Ace has done and how they help this car perform.
Yes, people, so first impressions, we're jumping out in this Cupra. Straight away you notice how light the steering is. I mean, it's one of the downsides of modern cars. They're built to do everything well, but they don't really perfect anything in my opinion. But comparing this to some of the other modern cars that I've drove, it does feel way more switched on. Does get moving. I think you'll probably notice, one, I'm not a front wheel drive boy like Wiggy, and two, his level at just jumping into other cars and being able to adapt is a lot higher than mine. I need a little bit of time to assess everything, get used to the car, but yeah, I'll try my best to give you an honest opinion. I think when it comes down to having fun in hot hatch cars, I'm going to be completely honest, and a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but it has to be manual. Like, speed, yeah, like you're never going to keep up with an automatic gearbox, but I don't know, man, I feel like I'm on a sim here. Puts the power down nice with them 265 tyres. Yeah, it feels like it just wants to stick. Now comparing this to anyone who knows, before we started the YouTube, I had a Mark 6 GTI. It wasn't overly set up in terms of handling, but for some reason it felt like it stuck pretty well. It was manual, but I felt like I could really chuck that car. And I'm getting the same sort of feeling from this. It feels very direct, very point and shoot when it comes to steering inputs. Accelerating, hard on the brakes. Yeah, it grips really well. It grips really well. You get a lot of feedback through the chassis, but I still feel like you don't really get enough feedback through the steering, and that's what concerns me about pushing these newer hot hatches. I just feel like I need to know what's going on. I feel like I'd be guessing a little bit with this. Seats are really nice, they hold you in quite tight. Yeah, the thing about auto, it's just effortless, isn't it? Like, even there you just see just a short little burst with some short shifts. It just goes. You don't got to think twice about what you're doing. The car sounds like a plane. Like, I don't know how well the mic's picking it up, but you're getting a lot of induction noise, and it just sounds really airy. Quite interesting. Felt it tramline a little bit then. I think that was more due to the road camber than the car or the tyres itself. The few mods that have been done to the car in terms of stiffening it up, the little bit of power that's been added, the grip levels, definitely make this a fun car for these sort of roads. Although you don't get feeling through the steering, which is concerning when you're not used to it. Once you start to understand how the car's giving you feedback through the chassis, it is confidence inspiring. But I do think it takes a little bit more getting used to than older cars such as my E36 or Wiggy's Civic, because you get feedback from them straight away. So although they might not be as fast as the more modern cars, I feel like you can reach a higher level of driving quicker. Whereas something like this, I think it takes a little bit of time to build that confidence in the car. Once you've got that bond with the car, I think because it's so capable, I think it automatically just becomes fun. I'm not gonna lie, it surprised me. It has surprised me. It puts the power down really well. Considering it's front wheel drive, that's always been my issue with front wheel drive cars. I feel like once you start pushing the power and once you start pushing them on bends, there's too much going through the front wheels. There's power, it's trying to grip, it's trying to turn. It just feels overwhelmed, whereas this doesn't feel like that. It feels, like I said earlier, quite confidence inspiring. So I'm pretty impressed with it, to be honest.
So there you have it. Both had a drive in the modified Cupra. What's your opinions?
Honest opinions. I'm pleasantly surprised with how it can go from being an all-round daily,
Yeah.
and you can drive it comfortably. It's reliable. It's got the modern tech. But then as soon as you flip that switch,
It's on,
you
innit?
can press.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can go around corners.
Yeah.
It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, is what I'm trying to say. What do you think?
Pretty good analogy, I'd say the same. In terms of performance, I'd say it handled better than I thought it would. It probably gripped. Yeah, I'd say gripped better than I thought it would as well.
I agree.
Any criticism that I would have had on the car is something that I would have been expecting from a modern car. I'd say the steering does feel a bit light, but like I said, I don't know if I said it when you was in the car, it can be forgiven because it's so direct and it doesn't give you physical feedback, but it does exactly what you want it to do as soon as you want it to do
Yeah.
it, so it can be forgiven.
I think that's what took me the most getting used to.
Yeah.
I think with my car, I can feel what it's doing when I do it.
Yeah.
Whereas with that car, I felt like I was guessing a little bit. Like you said, the steering is a little bit light, but it was to be expected. But that didn't mean that it did the job any less capable. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it still did what I wanted it to do. It just didn't convey what it was
It just
doing
takes
very
getting
well.
used to. We're not used to that, but for someone like
Exactly.
Ace who drives the car every day can see how it's extremely capable.
But to answer the question, can modern day hot hatches be fun?
I'd say yeah.
I agree.
I'd say it's just a different kind of fun.
But it's fun nonetheless.
Yeah, it's better performance. 100%.
For me, I think from what other people have told me and what I was expecting, I think modern hot hatches get unfair criticism.
Yeah, 100%.
I think people are trying to compare apples with oranges.
Yeah, 100%.
A modern day hot hatch is never going to be an old school, E36 or Civic. It's never going to be that. But it's still a fun car no matter what no matter what way you're looking at it. But overall, thank you Ace for bringing down the car. Really nice example, but he's not stopping with it there. So I'm sure we'll see him after some more mods, won't we? We'll leave his socials in the description. We'll probably put them on screen. For now, that's it, innit?
Yeah.
Leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll catch you in the next one.